Hi, I'm Vik Chopra, and this is my coming out story. So I think my earliest memory of being attracted to the same sex was when I was about 6 or 7 years old. And I had this swim teacher, and his name was Eddie. And I can remember always being totally enamored with his Speedo. You know, of course, I didn't know what that meant at the time or why I was so attracted to him, but I definitely knew that I was digging what Eddie had going on in his Speedo over any of the other female swim teachers there. In junior high, in my 8th grade year, my family got a top-of-the-line, lightning-fast Gateway PC with a whopping 1 gigabyte of memory. That was just like amazing back then. And that finally gave me access to this thing called the World Wide Web, or the internet.
Welcome, you've got mail.
And I can remember the very first thing that I looked up when I finally had some alone time at the computer was naked dudes. Not females, but men. That's what turned me on. But being 13 and 14 years old, I don't think my mind really grasped, what was going on, because there was just no way that I could be gay. Like, that wasn't even an option. And, my upbringing, society, all the TV and movies that I had watched, they all pretty much said the same thing, and that's girls like boys and boys like girls. Like, you're gonna end up marrying a girl. So I think my brain sort of did like a divide, right? That was like, okay, so you're sexually attracted to boys, not girls. Like, not girls at all, not one bit. But you need to be normal, right? So I'm gonna make you think that you have crushes on girls. Because I totally did the whole date girls thing, or try to date girls thing in high school and in college, right? And, I think part of me did, like these girls somewhat, because I, totally played into that part. I'm like, totally straight, bro. Fucking love tits. Gotta get me some fucking pussy. But there was nothing sexual going on at all. What was sexual for me was this whole online world that I delved into at a really young age, in secret. And soon that turned into this really unhealthy pattern of DL, anonymous hookups. Because, in my head, my brain was convincing me that this was just a bi-curious thing,
No, wait. It's okay, Putters. This isn't a serious problem. You're just bi-curious.
So I'd meet guys in online chat rooms, and we would meet up and we'd fool around. And pretty soon that escalated into meeting up and having sex. All with guys that I met once and then I would never see again. Like, I can't even tell you who the first guy that I had sex with was, except I remember he had a really hairy ass. Think I got rug burn. This went on for years, all throughout my teens and early 20s, living in the closet, terrified somebody would find out, hating myself. After my very first hookup when I was 15, I went into a very dark depression for several months. I really just wanted to kill myself. And soon this turned into a daily thought pattern for me. To live with this secret, all the while being absolutely disgusted and despising yourself, is such a tragic way to live. And this is par for the course for every single LGBTQ+ person out there at some point in their lives. And that was my life for so long, living this double life, like thinking that I was gonna date and marry a woman, all the while, hooking up with dudes, sucking on the DL. So after another terrifying yet clean round of STD testing when I was 24, I decided that this risky behavior and these anonymous hookups are just too stressful and they have to stop. So my closeted brain decides, hey, let's find a DL buddy. So I start going on to dating sites and I meet this guy and we exchange MySpace accounts and it turns out to be Tom. Just kidding. No, his name was Matt and we started talking and I kind of start to develop an interest in him. which was something totally new and different for me. Like, feelings for a guy? What was happening to me? So then, during that same week, my friend Noel and I go see Brokeback Mountain.
So what we got now is Brokeback Mountain!
And something about seeing that movie right then, at that moment in my life, it was like a light bulb going off in my head. The tale of Ennis and Jack was such a beautiful, tragic love story. It was so sad, but it was a love story.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
A love story, and I saw myself in it. And then it was like everything that had been going on in my life had led me right to that moment. And suddenly, the two divided parts of my brain like came together, and I was like, oh shit, I could have it all. The sex and the love. And then it hit me. I am so fucking gay.
Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
It was like 1,000 pounds had been lifted off my shoulders. And I felt invincible, like I had just won the toughest competition of my life. And then it was like the gay seas had parted just for me.
Behold his mighty hand!
And I took that first step, and I came out to my best friend the next day. And then I came out to another friend, and another friend. I was like a man on fire, and all my friends just kept cheering me on and celebrating me, and it was like my very own Oscars moment. And literally within a couple of weeks, I had come out to everyone that I knew, except for my mom.
Huh?
That took a little bit longer. That was about a year later. I was super nervous, and although it was a bit of a shock to her for a few days,
I don't want you running around half naked in front of men, huh?
she quickly came around, and she's been absolutely nothing but loving and supportive. That was 14 years ago, and I've never looked back. You know, I truly believe that when we deny or hide the most authentic parts of ourselves, it's traumatic. And that trauma takes years to heal. I'm still healing. I know the world feels a little bit insane right now, and it feels like we're going backwards sometimes. But in the end, love wins. To be able to live as we were meant to be and love who we were meant to love is a fundamental right that should be bestowed upon every human being on this earth. There's nothing wrong or flawed about me, nor is there anything about you or anyone else. Straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, asexual, cisgender, non-binary. I could go on. Whatever you identify as is fucking beautiful. Be who you were born to be. For so many years, I thought I had to hide this part of me, to live in denial of it, to be ashamed and resentful. And then 14 years ago, all of that changed. I love who I am. I love that I'm different. And I love that I am part of the LGBTQ+ community. My name is Vik Chopra. I'm gay and fucking proud. Happy Pride!